Good afternoon, students, and I welcome you. We are going to discuss very important questions, and also we will discuss from the life processes. The last part is excretion. Excretion. Last time we have told you the transport system in human beings and also the transport system in the plants. Did we tell you? Tell me, did we do it?
Yes, sir.
So before that, 1-2 minutes of relaxation meditation will be done so that we become relaxed and our mind becomes stress free, because you are having a lot of classes every day. There's a lot of stress, discomfort in our mind, body. What will we do, students? We will close our eyes and we will inhale, and with Om mantra we will exhale. What happens? Inhale deeply, inhale as much oxygen. When you inhale, what happens? Your stomach, like a balloon, it expands. होता है ना expand when you inhale. When you exhale, क्या करते हैं? पेट को पिचका देते हैं. तो यहाँ पर हम क्या करेंगे? 3 बार करेंगे ओम ओम मंत्रा meditation. There are vibrations, the negative energies and the stress will flow out of our mind. When the mind is relaxed, we will understand better. Am I right? Tell me yes or no. So there is a lot of stress in the mind. Are you ready? Tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sit comfortably on the chair. Sit very comfortably. Chair. Relax the all parts of the body. Two palms. Two palms. जो आपकी टांगे हैं उसके ऊपर आराम से रखिए इसको, पाम्स को. और मैंने अपना ग्लासेस उतार दिए हैं. क्लोज योर आईज. क्लोज योर आईज. योर फीट टचिंग द ग्राउंड. पैर जो है वो जमीन के साथ टच करने चाहिए. कर रहे हैं? वो चप्पल उतार लो ताकि वो ग्राउंडेड एनर्जी होती है. अर्थ अर्थ कर दिया. अर्थ एक सिस्टम है ना, अर्थ के ऊपर पैर आप रखते हैं विदाउट एनी बेरिंग एनीथिंग, वो ग्राउंड हो जाता है. अब हम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं स्टूडेंट. आई एम क्लोजिंग माय आईज. इनहेल और ओम मंत्रा बोलिए. ओ inhale. Oh. Inhale. Oh. Sit comfortably. Normal breathing. Normal breathing now. Very come to your awareness. Rub your palms. Rub your palms, students. Healing energy. Work is done when we rub our palms. Some heat energy is produced. That is healing energy. Gently massage your face, your eyes for 30 seconds with this healing energy and experience the relaxation, the tension, the stresses, the negative energies are leaving your mind, body, heart, and soul, students. And slowly open your eyes with a smile on your face. आ गए वापस? Tell me. Back? आ गए? बोलो. स्टूडेंट्स वापस आ गए? बोलो. आ गए वापिस? आर यू
Yes,
फीलिंग?
sir.
अब रिलैक्सेशन हो गई, कुछ माइंड में हो गया रिलैक्स सारा सिस्टम? कुछ कंफर्ट डिस्कम्फर्ट होती है बॉडी में, वो रिलैक्स हो गई सारी? हो गया? अब हमारा सिस्टम एक्टिवेट हो गया, वी आर रेडी टू लर्न। बॉडी में कुछ एनर्जी रिलीज हो गई है। ये ब्रीदिंग बहुत इफेक्टिव होती है, जो सांस लेते हैं ये जब ओम से हम करते हैं, बड़ी वाइब्रेशंस होती है सारे शरीर में, इनकी वाइब्रेशंस होती हैं गले में, मुंह में, तो ये सब हमें एक्टिवेट करती हैं और रिलैक्स करती हैं। अब हम अपना क्लास स्टार्ट करने जा रहे हैं। फोकस करिए, कंसंट्रेट करिए और देखिए कि हम क्या करने जा रहे हैं स्टूडेंट। हमारा जो चैप्टर चल रहा था वो लाइफ साइंसेस पर था। क्या पढ़ रहे थे हम? लाइफ साइंस। लाइफ साइंसेस के ऊपर हमने बताया कि हमारा जो ट्रांसपोर्ट कैसे होता है ह्यूमन बींग्स में और प्लांट्स में।
Alright, students. First, before I go further, there is a question on the screen, students. What is the question coming? He says, question number 1. Question number 1, student, on the screen. What are the components of the transport system? What are the components of the transport system in human beings? In human beings, what are the functions of these components, students? You have 1 to 2 minutes to think about it and give me the answer. After that, I will take over. What we are talking, transport system in human beings. Okay, first, what are the functions and what are the components, students? What is the transport system consist of in human beings? Tell me. What are the components? You have a heart, students. You have blood. You have blood vessels. Tell me, do you have all this?
Yes,
You
sir.
okay? You have heart, you have blood vessels. And what is the function of the heart, student? Tell me, what is the function of heart? First point. What is the function of heart? What your heart does? What your heart is doing? Heart is the most important part of your body. What is this pumping organ? Heart is your pump. What type of pump is this? What the heart does? We studied heart, student. What it does? It push and pull the blood around the body. What is does the pump? What is this pump? It is pushing. It pushes and pulls. What it pushes and pulls? Blood around your body. ठीक है? What is happening? It receives deoxygenated blood from various parts of the body and pumps oxygenated blood throughout the body. You know, when you inhale oxygen from the lungs, what happens? The blood becomes oxygenated. So it pumps oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood. You know, oxygenated blood is required for every cell of the body. ठीक है? It pumps oxygenated blood throughout the body. Throughout the body, student. We have shown you two left and right part of the heart. What it does, it pumps oxygenated blood and receives it receives, student, deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood. What the deoxygenated blood contains? From various parts of the body, which contains carbon dioxide. You have seen that. What is the blood doing? What is the function of the blood? What is blood? It is a connective tissue. It is a connective tissue, students, in your body. Connective tissue. ठीक है? and it contains plasma. What else it contains? RBC. Then it has WBC. And what we said, fourth thing, platelets. Blood platelets are there. Blood platelets are there. What is the function of plasma? Tell me, plasma does what, student? Plasma transports food. ठीक है? Plasma transports food, carbon dioxide and nitrogenous waste in dissolved form. Food, carbon dioxide, nitrogenous wastes. Lot of amino acids you are eating in the body, you know, proteins are nothing but poly amino acids. So what is happening? Food, carbon dioxide, nitrogen waste in dissolved form. That is the plasma doing. It will transport all this. Okay. And what is the RBC transports? Red blood capsule, they contain iron, heme, hemoglobin, HB, know about HB. It protects, what it does, RBC transports respiratory gases and hormones. Transports respiratory gases, and hormones. What else is there? What the WBC is doing? That is the army of your body. It protects body from infections. Protects body from infections. Infections. A lot of infections could be there, and there is attack to the body. And platelets prevent loss of blood. What happens? What the platelets do? If there is any injury, what will happen? If there is any injury, student, what will happen? Oh. If there is any injury, students, what will happen? If there is any injury, then what will happen? The bleeding will be there. So platelets will do what? They will coagulate and will prevent the loss of blood. They will prevent loss of blood. Loss of blood at the time of injury, because they will clot the blood. In case of any injury, the bleeding has to be stopped. Then what are the blood vessels doing? There are blood vessels, network of vessels. There is a network of blood vessels inside your body, students. What they are doing, network of this, they help in the circulation of the blood throughout the body. Blood vessels, they will circulate blood. Where they will circulate blood? In the body. In the body. Note it down, students. Note it down, very important. अरे क्या कर रहा? Note it down, students. Okay. Note down. Oh. All right. They circulate the blood in the body. Okay. That is the first question. What is the question number 2, student? Why is it necessary to separate oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in mammals and birds? This is an important question, and this question was given in the exam also. You have 1 to 2 minutes to answer the question. Why is it necessary to separate oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in the mammals and birds? You know, mammals and birds, their oxygenated and deoxygenated bloods are separated. Can you tell me what is the reason for this, students? Important question. This was asked in the paper. There is a separation of oxygenated blood is the one which is required for the cells of the body, and deoxygenated contains the materials which are not required. What will happen if they are not separated? If they are not separated, they will get mixed up, and then what will happen? The supply of oxygen in the body will be reduced. But these mammals and birds, they are in need of more oxygen. Mammals and birds, student, they have high energy need, have high energy need. Therefore, they need more efficient supply of oxygen. You know, only when the oxygen will reach, then you will get the food, energy will be produced. Therefore, it is necessary to separate oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in mammals and bird, so that a constant supply of oxygen is available to maintain the high efficiency of oxygen. Clear? So they are separated so that they get mammals and birds require mammals and bird students require what they require: constant supply of oxygen to obtain energy. They need more energy, therefore they will need more oxygenated blood. If the two gets mixed up, then what will happen? The supply of oxygen will become less efficient, and that is the reason the two are separated. The two are separated, students. Note down every answer. Every question is important for the paper, students. Mammals and birds, their demand is higher in energy, and therefore there is a separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood so that an efficient supply of oxygen is maintained. Otherwise, they will face serious energy problem. Question number 3 is coming on the screen. What are the components of transport system in highly organized plants, students? Plants. You have 2 minutes to answer the question. Then I will take over. Think about it. What are the components which are involved in transport system in plants? We have explained this in detail, students. What we told you, the true components of transport system in plants are, you know, xylem and what is the second one? Phloem. We have shown you the pictures of these also in our previous video. And what the xylem is? The xylem is, you already have studied in the 9th class. It consists of vessels. It has vessels, students, and tracheids. And you can see the picture in our last video. We have shown it. It helps to conduct water and minerals. What it does? It helps to conduct water and minerals. ठीक है? Water and minerals from soil to the leaves. Is it right? Tell me yes or no. What is the function of phloem, students? Xylem. It consists of sieve tubes. It has sieve tubes and companion cells. Go back to our previous video, you will get what it will do. Transport food materials. It will transport food. The food is prepared on leaves, green chlorophyll leaves. What they do? Food is prepared there. The sugar is prepared there. That has to go from leaves to various parts of the plant. Transports food materials, student, from leaves, from the leaves to where? Various parts of the plants. Various parts of the plants. Various parts of the plant. And this process is called what do we call this as? Translocation. Am I right? Tell me, is it correct, students? Note down everything, students. Important questions will be asked in the paper. We have explained this in complete detail in our previous videos. Note down. This question was given in the paper. How are water and mineral transported in plants? What is the answer, student? You have 1 to 2 minutes. 1 to 2 minutes to answer the question. Water, where you are putting water in the plants? In the soil. The roots are in the soil. So what will happen? The water will go from the soil to the roots, from roots to the entire plants. So there are channels through which the water is being sucked by. We have shown you in the video. Cohesion, adhesion, transpiration process. The pressure difference is maintained, and how the water and the ions which are there in the soil are sucked, student. So they are transported. Water and minerals. How they are transported? Transported through xylem cells. We have shown the picture of that also. From soil to the leaves. To the leaves. The xylem cells of roots. Xylem cells of roots, in the roots, stem and leaves. There are xylem cells are interconnected are interconnected, ठीक है, to form a conducting channel. A channel is produced, a conducting channel. Form a conducting channel, student, very important. Conducting channel. The root cells take up ions from the soil. So what will happen? First point. Second, the root cells take up ions, from where? Soil. They'll take up ions from the soil and creates a difference between concentration of ions of roots and soil. So this creates concentration difference. Concentration difference is created where concentration difference between ions of roots and soil. So a steady movement of water into xylem. There is a steady movement of water takes place, student, into xylem. ठीक है, and osmotic pressure is formed due to osmosis. You know, water will flow from higher concentration to lower concentration. Ions will flow from higher concentration to lower concentration. So there is a osmotic pressure formed, and water and minerals are transported from one cell to other cell. So due to osmosis, what happens? Water and minerals are transported, ठीक है, are transported from one cell to another cell, as there is a channel, this will go. And further pressure difference is maintained by transpiration. There is a loss of water from the leaves of the plants. You know about that. So due to transpiration, there is a loss of water. ठीक है, loss of water takes place from the leaves of the plant. So when this will create what? A pressure difference. So this creates a pressure difference. So pressure is lower when water will be lost. So what will be the result of this? So there is a continuous movement of water and mineral. So as a result of this, as a result of this, what will happen? As a result, there will be continuous movement of water and minerals. Water and minerals from root to leaves of the plant. Leaves and entire plant. ठीक है? What will happen? What is the result of that? Note it down, students. So in the atmosphere, a lot of water is also coming because of the transpiration of the plants. Water is coming out from the leaves. They don't need that much water as you are watering them. and transpiration will take place. This question is important, has been asked many times, students. Note down. Next question, how is food transported in plants? Important question, students. What we said, food is transported through food is transported through what we say, food is transported through phloem. What is that? Phloem, student. ठीक है? To the storage organs. To the storage organs. What are the storage organs? Of roots, fruits, seeds, and growing parts. And growing parts. We have shown you in the previous lecture the complete structure of phloem. Also in ninth also you studied what is phloem, how the food is transported. ठीक है? This process is called, this process is called, what it is called? Translocation. Translocation. The function is done. The function is done, student. How the function is done? By the sieve tubes. By the sieve tubes and companion cells. And and companion cells. And companion cells. There are sieve tubes, and the movement of food particles takes place. The movement of food particles takes place both upward and downward. Upwards and downwards. There is a movement of particles both upward and downwards. In this case, mechanism of translocation is an active process. Mechanism of transportation. ठीक है? This what it requires, it utilizes energy. Utilizes energy, students. This utilizes energy. Utilizes energy. ठीक है? Materials are transferred from leaf cells or the site of storage into phloem tissue. Materials are transferred from leaf cells. ठीक है? और site or from storage sites where the storage sites are there into phloem tissue, into phloem tissues, phloem tissue. For this energy is required, the energy required for this process, ठीक है, is provided by ATP molecules, you know, adenotriphosphate. You are aware of ATP, adenotriphosphate molecule. The energy, this energy increases the osmotic pressure. This energy increases the osmotic pressure. This energy increases the osmotic pressure. As a result, water from outside moves into the phloem. As a result, water from outside moves into phloem. Moves into phloem. This pressure maintains the movement of food through all parts of the plants. The pressure difference maintains whenever things will flow from higher pressure to lower pressure, always higher concentration to lower concentration. That's what we said, diffusion and osmosis, the processes will continuously take place. So this pressure maintains movement of the food, maintains movement of the food through all parts of the plant. Through all parts of the plant. See, you have a plant and what you are doing, water in the soil, minerals are in the soil, ninth class you studied how important is the soil, and the photosynthesis is taking place on the green leaves. So there has to be a transport system, and there are two processes you have seen, xylem and phloem. Food is transported, student, and xylem and phloem. Food is transported by phloem cells, food, water and minerals by the xylem cells. Note it down, students, note it down. Important questions for the paper. Noted? Now we are coming to the last part of it, that you are taking food, you are eating food, water, minerals, material, everything the living systems are taking, whether they are human beings, animals or plants. There is going to be a lot of waste products in the body. So there will be waste, and there will be excess of water in the body. You are drinking 10 glasses of water, 5 glasses, or liquids you are taking. There has to be a process to remove them. What we are saying, excretion. So what is excretion? What is excretion? What is excretion? What we are saying, what is excretion? The process of removing wastes and excess water from the body. It is essential process in all living things, and it is one of the major ways human body maintains homeostasis. Homeostasis. What do you mean by homeostasis, students? What is homeostasis? You eat food, you drink water, you inhale oxygen, and there has to be some waste materials which are produced in the body. They must go out of the body. If they don't go out of the body, what will happen? There will be some imbalance in the internal system. What internal system you are having? You are having some temperature inside the body, you have some pH in the body, you have concentration of some ions in the body. If there is an imbalance, if there is a blood which has a pH, if you are taking too much acids or too much bases, if the pH of the blood changes, what will happen? Then the body will be damaged. There will be damage to the parts of the body. So homeostasis maintains a stable internal environment. The purpose is to maintain stable internal environment. Internal environment despite changes in external environment. External environment. Your body maintains homeostasis by controlling. How it maintains homeostasis? By control of temperature. There has to be control of temperature inside the body. You know, when you have fevers, when you have high temperature, then you are taking medicines to lower that temperature, because digestion of the food and other processes will stop. Temperature inside the body has to be maintained. Blood pH has to be maintained. Glucose level in the blood. There is a glucose level in the blood. Okay? There is a fluid balance inside the body. There are fluids, students, and you have sodium, potassium, calcium ions, and many other things are present. Their concentration has to be maintained. If the concentration fluctuation is there in them, then body will suffer a damage. There will be a damage to the body. So body maintains homeostasis. Student, human body has a mechanism by which it maintains homeostasis. That is why excretion is done. Otherwise, what will happen? The temperature will change, the pH will change, and this will cause damage. So waste, what are the waste? This include byproducts of metabolism. Byproduct mean when the food is being produced, there are other products also which are not required by the body. Some of these are toxic and some are non-useful. Some of these are not required by the body. Some are toxic, and such as used up and broken down components. Some of these specific waste products must be excreted from the body, include carbon dioxide from cellular respiration, ammonia, urea from protein catabolism, and uric acid from nucleic acid. Metabolism reactions are taking place in the body. There are byproducts that when you are inhaling, you know what is happening. Carbon dioxide, you have to exhale from the cellular respiration. Cellular respiration is giving carbon dioxide, it has to be thrown out. Ammonia is produced, urea is there from catabolic proteins. Proteins are amino acids. Uric acid is produced from nucleum, so they have to be thrown out of the body. If you don't, what will happen? The body will be damaged. And this is what we say, human body maintains homeostasis by the process of excretion. So how organism get rid of waste material generated during photosynthesis or respiration? Other metabolic activity generate nitrogenous materials which need to be removed. You are aware of urea? Urine, you pass urine. What is that? It contains urea. Nitrogenous compounds are there. Biological process involved in removal of these harmful metabolic waste from body is called excretion. Different organisms use varied strategies to do this. Many unicellular organisms remove this waste by simple diffusion from the body in body surface into the surrounding water. As we have seen in the process, complex multicellular organisms use specialized organs to perform this function. So human beings, animals which are complex, they have multicellular organisms which will perform the function of excretion. Excretion is required. Excretion in human beings. Organs of excretion. What organs of excretion you have? You have a skin. You know skin? Tell me, you have the skin or not? Tell me. Rest when what is you are doing? Pasina bahar nikal raha hai. Perspiration. What is happening in summer? Perspiring from the skin. There are small pores in the skin. The water is coming out. Perspiration. You have a liver and large intestine. You have lungs, kidneys. Together, these organs make up the excretory system. Excretory system. You know, kidney is acting as a filter. Kidney is filtering. They excrete waste, but they do not work together in the same way. All these are excreting waste. Lungs, oxygen in, CO2 out. CO2 is not required, out. Lungs. Large intestine, and what they are doing? You are eating food, waste materials, you have to pass out from the body. So they are working in their own way. Each of the excretory organ does its own thing, more or less independent of others, but all are necessary to successfully excrete the full range of waste from human body. So you can believe there is a lot of waste products in the body. And they must be excreted from the body. Liquids, food, or whatever it is. Human anatomy: brain, lymph, lungs, spleen, bone marrow, stomach, veins, pancreas, urinary bladder, pharynx, heart, pumping the blood, arteries, muscles, liver. You have a liver, you have a gallbladder, kidneys, filtration is being done by kidneys. So intestine, you can see here is a human anatomy picture, which you can get from any source, any book. And excretory system in human being is shown in your NCERT book, students. Left artery, kidney, you know, left kidney, right aorta, left ureter, urinary bladder, urethra. So there is a system of, you see, removal of the waste from the body. This picture you can get in your NCERT book. We have taken from that. Question was asked how urine is produced. Student, urine, you know, you have to pass urine many times in a day. Liquids you are drinking, waste products have to be excreted from the body. The purpose of making urine is to filter out waste products from the blood. Blood has waste products. So it will filter, just as carbon dioxide is removed from blood in the lungs. What the lungs do? They remove carbon dioxide from the blood. Oxygenated blood is going into the body, entire body, and then it becomes deoxygenated. That is not required. So you have to, there are nitrogenous waste such as urea, uric acid. They are removed from the blood in the kidneys. What the kidney does? They remove urea, uric acid from the blood in the kidney. You are eating proteins, amino acids. They contain nitrogenous compounds. There is a lot of urea. It is produced. It is then no surprise that basic filtration unit in the kidneys. Kidneys have filtration unit. Like in the lungs is a cluster. Kidneys is a cluster of very thin walled blood capillaries. Each capillary cluster in the kidney is associated with cup-shaped end of a tube that collects the filtered urine, figure 6.14. So here they have shown the structure of a nephron, how the process is taking place. Each kidney has large number of these filtration units called nephrons. How many? Large number of filtration units. Nephrons are present in the kidney. They are acting as filtration units. How many? Large. So each kidney has large number of these filtration units. These are called nephrons, packed close together. This is the structure of one nephron. There are how many? Very large. Some substances in the initial filtrate, such as glucose, amino acid, salts, and major amount of water, are selectively reabsorbed as the urine flows along the tube. The urine flows along the tube, and certain substances are reabsorbed what are required by the body, like glucose, amino acid, salts, and major amount of ठीक है, water. Body also needs water, water. Your cells have water inside them. The amount of water reabsorbed depends on how much excess water there is in the body and how much of the dissolved waste. You have water, excess water has to be thrown out, and the waste have to be thrown out. The urine forming in each kidney eventually enters a long tube. So inside the kidney, filtration is taking place by the nephrons, which are there here. Brown capsule, tubular part of the nephron, collecting duct, branch of the vein, renal artery, branch renal. So the urine is formed in each kidney. They enter a long tube, the ureter, which connects the kidneys with urinary bladder. Urine is stored in urinary bladder until the pressure of the expended leads to urge to pass it out through the urethra. So urine is passing. Okay? Kidneys with, there is a bladder, urinary bladder present in our human system. It starts collecting. When the pressure will become very high, there will be urge to excrete it. So the bladder is muscular, so it is under nervous control, as we have discussed earlier. It is under nervous control, and as a result, we usually control the urge to urinate because it is connected with the nervous system. Sometimes you are at a place where you don't have any washrooms and the urge is there to urinate, you can stop it from the system which is at nervous control. There is a nervous control. So when pressure will become high, there will be urge in the human system to urinate because it has collected in the bladder. From urethra, we pass it out. So it has uric acid and other waste materials. And you know what are artificial kidney or hemodialysis? Kidneys are vital organ for survival. Several factors like infections, injury, or restricted blood flow to kidneys reduce the activity of the kidneys. See, there can be infections, injuries, others. This leads to accumulation of poisonous waste in the body, which can even lead to death. In case of kidney failure, an artificial kidney can be used. Artificial kidney is a device to remove nitrogenous waste product from the blood through dialysis. You know, there are people who are on dialysis. Have you heard of this? Failure of kidney. You know, there are people who are waiting to get a kidney because their kidneys are not working. Then filtration of waste products will not take place, and this can lead to death. So there is an artificial kidney contains artificial kidney is possible, what we call as a dialysis. Artificially contained number of tubes with a semi-permeable lining suspended in a tank filled with dialysis fluid. This fluid has some osmotic pressure as the blood, except it is a divide of nitrogenous waste. The patient blood is passed through this tube. During the passage, waste products from blood pass into dialysing fluid by diffusion. By diffusion, students, the purified blood is pumped back into patient. This is similar to function of the kidney, but it is different since there is no absorption involved. Normally, in a healthy adult, initial filtrate in the kidney is about 180 liters daily. Now, 180 liter is not a small amount. One bottle of 1 liter you have seen. However, the volume actually excreted is only a liter. Volume actually excreted is only a liter or two a day because the remaining filtrate is reabsorbed in the kidney tubes. So you can see on our body excretory system. What is working? Excretory system. So students, I hope you understand how the human system is working. Foods are being transported, but at the same time, a lot of waste products are there. They must be excreted in the body, or this will cause damage to the body. There are temperature factors, pH factors, and glucose levels. All these have to be maintained in the body. And therefore, in human system, we have an excretory system which we have explained to you. And this ends the excretory system in human beings. And then we will meet you in the next class. Any doubts, students?
No, sir.
You have noted the answers of the questions. You will get recorded videos, which you can anytime see. Previous videos are already available. Those who have subscribed our channel, and you can pass it to your friends and ask them to subscribe this channel, because we will also be solving all the questions. As you have seen, every question of NCERT we are solving before you, so you don't have to study. Anytime you have a problem, you can switch on the video and get the answer of the question which is in NCERT books. And other quiz will also be held. More important questions will also be discussed. So in our video lectures, all are available. So
Thank you, sir.
okay, then I will meet you in the next class. Bye bye.